Right, hello everyone, and welcome to another live stream on WooEnglish. My name is Hamza Jatte, and as always, I will be your host for this new session. So today is Saturday, meaning that we are having a grammar live stream. Today we are going to cover yet another English tense or verb tense. We have covered so far, I think, four or five other tenses. So we covered, for example, we started with the present simple. We then moved to the past simple. Last session we talked about the present continuous, and today we will cover the fourth tense, which is the past continuous. So while I wait for you, I would love to kindly remind you that we are giving free ebooks on our website wooenglish.com. Don't forget to go there and get your free ebooks. The ebooks on our live stream, by the way, are divided according to your level. So make sure you go there and you enjoy reading those free ebooks. All right. So I will wait for more people to join. Meanwhile, I would love to thank Santush Pathak, who is a new member on our YouTube channel. Thank you for the paid subscription. Santush, very kind of you. And I hope that you will be with us today and that you will interact with us like we do every time. So thank you guys for all the generous subscriptions, and of course, thank you for all the interaction that you do during our live streams or after the live streams are over. We are always thrilled and excited to read your comments and your views and your feelings about the session and what you guys think and what you also learned during our live streams. So while I wait for more people to join, let me very quickly just show you our website. It's a very nice website. It's a very good looking website. So on the website, so you will find different sections. You can go, for example, to ebooks here, and on ebooks you will find a lot of books. So you will find many books, different topics. They are covering different topics, and at the same time they are of different levels. Here in the bottom you will find free ebooks, and if you go to free ebooks you will find, I think so far there are 4 free ebooks. So we can click, for example, on Bella's Whiskers. It's for elementary students, so let's click on it, for example. Okay, and here at the bottom you will find the download button. So don't forget to visit our website right after the end of today's session. Today's session, as I told you guys, will be about the past continuous. So last time we talked about the present continuous. So today we will continue talking about the English tenses, and we will talk about the past continuous. But before, let us take some time to interact with each other. Take some time, type some hi or hello in the chat box. Tell us also where you are joining us from. So I will just hide this, the title of today's topic for the meanwhile, or for the time being. And let us just interact with each other. Let us see what's going on with you guys in life. How was your week? Since today is the end of the week, how is your weekend going? What are your activities? What are the activities that you are doing? So let me know in the chat what's up with you guys. And most importantly, let me know in the chat which country are you joining us from. Today I'm live streaming, as always. I'm live streaming from Morocco, and I would love to see what are the countries who are present with us today. So let us know. All right, so I didn't see any comments so far, so I will wait a little bit so that more and more people can join us. All right, so please feel free to share with us your. All right, great. So I can see that Artyom is already here with us today. So Artyom, hello to you, and welcome to this live stream. Let me probably change the type of. All right, this is way better. Okay, Arsim is here as always. So Arsim is one of our loyal followers, and he's always here interacting with us and sharing her opinions and doing the exercises very enthusiastically. So I'm always excited whenever I see the people here. All right, so who else is joining us? So I'm joining from Morocco. So that's my name. I'm joining from Morocco. There is Artsim joining us from Russia. I see now Pakde Rich. So where are you joining us? Hello to you. Where are you joining us? Pakde, where are you joining us from? What country? And the same for the others. Please make sure to share with us, like say hi, and also tell us what country are you joining us from, and maybe share with us some news. If there is anything you want to share with us in the chat before we start today's session, please feel free. The chat box is yours. Um, use it, however you feel like. Great. Getika is here as well. Getika, hello to you. Getika, I never had the chance to ask you where do you join us from? Which country are you joining us from? Let us know in the chat. So I can see that Pak is joining us from Indonesia. Great. Okay, so I started to see different countries again, as always. Different countries join us, and this is what I really love about our live stream, is how varied the nationalities who are interacting in the live box are. There is always like Russia, Germany, Morocco. There is the United States sometimes, Ukraine. All right, you are in America, in United States. Okay, fantastic, Jessica. So welcome. I can see now there is Russia and the United States. So the two ends of the globe. In Russia, right now, I believe maybe Artsim can correct me if I'm wrong. Right now in Russia, it's the evening, but in the United States, it's the morning. It's still the morning. So this is really brilliant how this technology is bringing us together at different times of the day. It's really mind blowing. All right. Who else would love to share with us his or her name and the country where you are joining us from? Let us know. And maybe let us know if there is any news with you. For me, there is no absolute news. There is no rain in Morocco, though. Indeed, yes, Artyom. It's the evening. Okay. Fabulous. Okay. All right. So I think we can start then. So I think we can start. So let us start today's live stream. Let us start with okay, the past continuous. So uh, maybe for those of you who were with us last time or last Saturday, we talked about the present continuous. You will find the session recorded on our live stream section, but don't go yet. Don't go now. You can do that later on, but right now stay with us and let's learn about the past continuous. I will start this session by talking about the use. When do we use the past continuous? If you remember, let me say. All right, Zuza, you are Uzbek. You are joining us from Uzbekistan. Welcome. Okay, that's wonderful. It's amazing how different people are joining the same place to learn about the same thing, which is English. Okay, so as I was saying, so the first thing that we will start with is to talk about when do we use the past continuous. And my question to you is what you guys know. So when do we use the past continuous? Before I show you any sentences, before I show you any examples, let me know what you guys already know. When do we use the past continuous? Does anyone know? If you have any idea, maybe if you want to compare it to the past continuous, that will be a very, very good idea. If you want to compare it to the past continuous, it really will show you the difference. Sophie, hello to you, Sophie. How are you? And Getika, all right, great. Getika is actually giving us an example. So this is an example by Getika. Great. Fantastic. So what is the use here, Getika? What is the use of this sentence? Why did you use the past continuous? Why didn't you say, for example, yesterday I learned English? Why didn't you use the past simple? Why did you use the past continuous? Okay, I see Pack has given us another explanation. Let me see. Okay, let's see Pack's answer. But meanwhile, I will just write for you two sentences and we can compare them. Okay. All right. So let us first see what past time and row still continue and now still continuing. But not really. For example, pack, when it is a past action, you are absolutely right for the first part. It is a past action. But let's take, for example, Getika's example. I was learning English yesterday. The action is over yesterday. I'm sure Getika, whatever she is talking about, it's over yesterday. Let's see what Artyom is saying. When we did something long time in the past, you are getting there, Artyom. That's the closest answer. Sophie is giving us a more elaborate answer. Sophie says we use the past continuous when the action in the past and during a period of time. Great. I really like these answers. So please, if you have any more suggestion, don't hesitate to drop it in the chat. You will not learn English by just being shy, all right? Don't keep English here. Use it. Use it orally. Use it in the writing form. Use it however you want. Let us now see two examples. So, two examples using the same verb, which is the verb to watch, all right? So the first verb or the first sentence is yesterday I watched a movie. Yesterday I watched a movie. The second sentence, B, yesterday I was watching a movie. So can someone tell me these two actions, what is the difference between them? In one of them, all right, Getika is giving us more beautiful examples. I was cooking rice and curry yesterday. I hope you enjoyed them. Great. I think this is the second time, Getika, you talked to us about curry. I think it's your favorite food, probably, because I remember seeing you talk about it before. So I will assume that this is your favorite food. Okay. So yesterday I watched the movie. This is the past simple. Yesterday I was watching a movie. This is the past continuous. Can someone tell me what is the difference between these two sentences? I will give you some time to think. I will just give you some time. Maybe you can think, share with me in the chat. I will try stop speaking. Okay. All right. Okay, thank you, Artyom. Thank you. It is indeed a very good question. I was going to the temple. Getika has given us more and more a nice example. I like how you are varying your examples. Great. But now, can you, Getika, help us understand what is the difference between sentence A and sentence B? Sentence A says, yesterday I watched a movie. B says, yesterday I was watching a movie. So, what is the difference between the two sentences? Very, very interesting question, actually. All right. Does anyone know? So it's the same verb. Both actions happened in the past. So don't tell me, well, A is in the past, because both of them are in the past, actually, not just A or just not just B. A and B both are in the past. But there is a difference actually in the meaning. So can someone help me understand what is the difference between these two sentences? Maybe I will share in like 30 seconds. I will share the answer. I will share the answer. So Artyom, actually, you really were very close to the answer. A long time. Same for Sophie, to be honest. Same for Sophie. So both of you are talking about the period of time. Okay, so maybe I will just reveal the difference between the two sentences. Basically, for A, we are using the past simple. If you remember, we said that the past simple is used when we talk about an action in the past that started and finished in the past. So in the first one, we want to emphasize, we want to put more focus on the fact that the action is over. Okay, before I finish explaining, my friend Idris is sharing with us his answer. Sophie too. Okay, maybe I didn't give you more time. Okay, so hello, I'm Idris from Turkey, and hello to you, Idris. And but I live in Iraq. Oh wow, my dream actually. So just between parentheses, my dream is to visit Iraq one day. I really want to visit that country. It's a beautiful country. I watched your channel's video, but I didn't attend the live stream because my job yesterday. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. That was very lovely. Focus on the action, focus on the duration of the action. And now, Sophie, you got the right answer. Sophie, you absolutely got it. So basically, when I say yesterday I watched the action, I want to focus more on the fact that the action happened and it's finished. I watched it, all right? I already watched it. But for B, we are focusing more, like Artsim said and like Sophie said, we are focusing more on the duration. How long was the action? So when I say yesterday I was watching a movie, basically I want to say that it took me some time. So it's the same action, but when I change the focus of the sentence, what I'm trying to say, so for the first one I'm trying to say it's over, and in number two I'm trying to say it took me a long time, right? So here, depending on the focus of the sentence, we change the tense of the sentence. Let us now go and see some more examples of when do we use the past continuous. And we will start with sentence number one. And I'm using Moroccan names. So those are Moroccan names for the people there. So don't be afraid about the names. Okay, so the first one, at 8 p.m., Amina was reading a book. At 8 p.m., Amina was reading a book. Okay, so this is sentence number one. So basically, sentence number one. So I just want to say that when it was 8 o'clock, what is the action that a person was doing? All right. So if I ask you, for example, what were you doing yesterday at this time? So yesterday at 3 p.m., what were you doing? Maybe you can share with me your answers. For example, for me, yesterday at this time, I was at school teaching my students. I was teaching at school, right? So this is what I was doing. Indeed, Getika, it is past, but it is a special kind of the past because there are a lot of actions or a lot of tenses for the past. Okay, so let me show you this. So basically, this is for this sentence, it shows us, or we use the past continuous to say that a long action was happening at a certain time in the past. So I say, for example, let me give you another sentence. So yesterday, at 2 p.m., someone was knocking on my door, right? So let me give you the sentence. So the sentence basically goes, yesterday at 2 p.m., someone was knocking on my door, right? So here I want to say that at that time, at 2 p.m., what was the action that was happening? And of course, when I say here someone was knocking, I want to say that it took him some time. So he was knocking for a long time, right? So he was there for a long time. Let me show you the representation of this action in the past. So we have here a timeline, all right? That's the present. So the action is happening in the past. You can see that it's happening in the past. So it's a long action and it's happening at a certain time. So the time is shown in blue And the long action, Amina was reading a book. So let me go back to remind you of the sentence. Amina was reading. It's a long action, of course, reading. So it took her some time to do. All right. So this is number one. So number one, we use the past continuous to talk about long actions in the past, right? We use the past continuous to talk about long actions in the past. And Getika was sharing with us some beautiful example. So I will share one or two, for example. So for example, Getika says, yesterday I was cooking rice and curry. So cooking, of course, it takes some time. So I want to emphasize that it took her some time. So she says, yesterday I was cooking rice and curry. Great. So let us now see the second one. For the second example, I will let you guys decide what is the what is the second use. Hello, Faisal Jalal. Hello to you. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. Okay, so maybe for Faisal or maybe for anyone here who is just joining, today we are talking about it's a grammar lesson. So every Saturday we are having a grammar lesson, and for today's grammar lesson, we are having. There is something missing there, Getika. Can you please correct? There is something there wrong. So, as I was saying, so every Saturday we are looking at a new English tense. Tenses are very important aspect of any language. So we are covering the different tenses of English. And today it's the turn of the past continuous. Great. Okay. So when I arrived to the gym yesterday, Anas was exercising on the treadmill. Again, when I arrived to the gym yesterday, Anas was exercising on the treadmill. So there are two verbs here, actually. Indeed, Getika, great. So you corrected it in the chat. Okay. So here we have two actions. And if you can notice, one action, arrive, is in the past simple, arrived, right? So we added ed. But the other action, which is to exercise, is in the past continuous, was exercising. Can someone please tell me why in one sentence we used one verb in the past continuous and one verb in the past simple? Can someone explain to me why that's the case? So I'm from Sudan, but the location in Saudi Arabia. Great, Faisal. I'm from Morocco. I know both countries, and I love both countries. So welcome to the live stream. Okay. So can anyone tell me what is the difference between or why in one sentence, so that we have one sentence, one verb is in the past continuous and one verb is in the past simple? So why is that? Why is that the case? Can you guys let us know in the chat? And even if you guys are wrong, let us know in the chat. We don't judge anyone, right? Sorry, I didn't see one answer by Idris. He said, I was drinking tea with my wife in a fancy coffee shop. Great. So I really love this example. So I was drinking tea with my wife in a fancy coffee shop. Great. So this is a long action in the past. Okay. So can someone please tell me why in one sentence we have one verb in the past simple and one verb in the past continuous? What's that? What does that mean? Please let us know. So we said the first use of the past continuous, let me reshare it again. So the past continuous one, the main use of the past continuous is for long actions in the past. Long actions in the past. Hello, Hamza. Very happy to see you here. Finally, you have joined. Okay, so Hamza, let me just put you in the context. So today we are talking about the past continuous, all right? So we said that the main use of the past continuous is for long actions in the past. For the present, for the past simple, is short actions in the past. We have a sentence here, Hamza. It has two verbs. I arrived and Anas was exercising. But the problem here is one action is in the past simple, one action is in the past continuous. Why is that? Why are two verbs in the same sentence in different tenses? One in the past simple, one in the past continuous. Okay, Sophie, an action happened during the other action was ongoing. Sophie, I really like how you worded it, and yes, great. You actually very close. When I arrived at the bus station, the bus was leaving. Getika, you gave us actually a perfect example of this similar case. This is a very good example. I really like it. Hamza, all right. On that, one of them is a small action, or we can say short, and the other one is continuing. All right. Arrive one moment. Great. So what I understand our team is that arrive is a short action, so it happens very fast. And Faisal, in the past simple is short, and in the past continuous is long. Very simply put, this is absolutely correct. Yes, this is absolutely it. So basically, if we want to, or this sentence, basically what's going on, okay, this also is giving us his justification first in the past and short action, but the second in the past continuous, because the exercise started before, because and even it's continuing. And I completely agree with you. Yes, totally. You guys gave me some very beautiful explanations for this case. So I'm really happy. I'm really excited now. So very good. So basically, this is what we call long action. So there was a long action, which is Anas exercising. So Anas was exercising. It's a long action. And in the middle of it, I arrived, right? So basically, we say in English, long action interrupted by a short action, all right? Let me give you another example, which is of the same case, Let me give you an example. Yesterday, I was watching TV when someone knocked on the door. All right. So basically, watching TV is a long action. I was laying down watching TV, and then this stopped when someone started knocking on my door. Okay. So it's a long action watching TV, and it was stopped or it was interrupted by a short action. Faisal is giving us an example. I was reading my book while my son knocked on the door. Indeed, yes. This is a very simple or very similar example. Getika. When I came home, my mother was washing her clothes. Getika, I always love the creativity and the variety of your uh, uh, examples. So if we want to represent this sentence basically here, so all your sentences will fall under this. So this is a timeline. So you can see the past, you can see the present. So basically, all actions in the past continuous happen before the present. So they happen in the past. And if we want to represent the second action, it will be like this. So it's a long action, and in the middle of it, a short action happened. Hamza is also giving us another. I was eating lunch when I got the notification about your lesson. This is a very beautiful example. Okay, and a very realistic one. I really like this. Okay, so I was watching and then I got the notification. So again, this is the case when we have two actions. One is long, one is short. The long action, we put it in the past continuous, and the short action, we put it in the past simple. So I hope this second case is clear for you. Let me give you a third case. While Salwa was cooking dinner, her children were watching TV. While Salwa was cooking dinner, her children were watching TV. Okay, so what's the case here? Is this the same case of a long action and the short action, or is this a new case? So let me guys know. For Faisal Jalal, I see a D. So, are you a doctor? Are you a doctor? And if yes, what is your field? If I may know, if I may ask you, I'm very interested. So, what is your field? What sector are you a doctor in? If you are a doctor, of course, are you a medical doctor? Are you a university doctor? So what's I just love to get to know my audience. Okay, so my question again is uh, uh, right. So my question again is while Selwa was cooking dinner, her children were watching TV. So what's indeed it is the right sentence, but what is unique about this? What is the difference between it and the second case? Long action interrupted by short action. Okay, these are basically the two cases that we have seen so far. So so far we have seen two cases: long action in the past, strategy. I see. All right, very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, and number two, it's long action interrupted by short action. For these sentences, for the sentences that we have on the screen, let us say, so and they happen at the same time. So both of them are long action, and they are happening at the same time. Artsim, it's right sentence. Sophie, two past continuous in the same time. All right, and finally, Artyom says it's two long actions. Great. Okay. Okay, fantastic. And that's basically it, actually, guys. So basically, very basically, so the case number two, so long action interrupted by short action, but in this case, it's two long action happening at the same time. So while the mother was cooking, which is a long action, the children were watching TV, which is also a long action. And if we want to represent this on the timeline, it will be like this. All right, it will be like this. So compare it with this one. So if we compare it with this one, so this is short action, so this is long action and interrupted by short action, and now it's two long actions happening at the same time. Fantastic, Dr. Faisal. So if you can drop, is it your account? I will pay a visit. I will make sure to visit your channel after we finish this exercise or we finish this live stream. All right, great. So, okay, great. So for the second exercise, or for this first exercise, actually, not second. So for this first exercise, I have, so we talked about three cases of the past continuous: long action in the past, long action interrupted by short action, and number three, two long actions in the past happening at the same time. So I have for you five sentences. Your task should be to tell me, for example, number one, which case is it? Is it long action in the past? Is it long action interrupted by short action? Or is it two long actions happening at the same time? So, number one, while I was cooking dinner, the phone suddenly rang or started ringing. So, rang. So, what is this? While I was cooking dinner, the phone suddenly rang. Is this a long action? One long action. Is this long action interrupted by short action? Number B. Or is it two long actions? Hamza said number one is B. So, meaning long action interrupted by short action. Do you agree with Hamza? Is it B? Shall we see? Shall we check? Let's check. Okay. I just want to give more of you guys some time to reflect with us. Okay, Sophie, 1, 2. You mean 1B, Sophie. You mean B. Artem, same answers. One is B. All right. Absolutely. So one is absolutely B. Yes. Okay, number two. I was hiking in the mountains for hours last week. So last week I was hiking for hours in the mountain. Hamza said two is A. It's very simply a long action in the past. I was hiking in the mountains for hours. So it's a long action. So what do you guys think for number two? Is it A, B, or C? Maybe I will. I will. So Hamza said it's A. Let us check. All right, it's absolutely A. So number two is A. Great. So Artem, great, same answer. She was studying all night yesterday. So she was studying all night yesterday. Again, what is this case? She was hiking. Sophie, the same thing. So number two is A. What about number three? What about number three? So she was hiking or she was studying all night. Oh, Hamza already gave his answer. So number three is A also. Hamza is very fast. He always answers all the question before the rest of you guys even read the question. All right, three Sophie, three is A. Okay. While, all right, let's read. While Hamza, sir, was teaching, his students were talking to each other. All right, great. A. All right, Getika, same answer. A. Okay, great. So absolutely number three is A. Number four, as I was reading the book, or as I was reading a book, the power went out. What I mean by the power went out is this. All right, the electricity went out. So when I say the power went out, means the electricity was gone, right? Like I did right now. Artsim says number three is A. Artsim, you are absolutely correct. What about number four? What is Hamza? Where is my man Hamza? And where is the Dr. Faisal as well? What are the rest of you guys? So please, I see a lot of people are watching this live stream, but I don't see a lot of interaction. I see just the same people interacting. Please don't be shy. Don't be shy. You can answer what happens if it's wrong. Now we're talking. Bella is a new member here. Okay, Bella. It's a long action interrupted by a short action. And I will absolutely check and see if Bella is correct. Okay, Sophie, the same thing. Sophie says number four is B. Okay, I will then reveal. Absolutely, Bella and Sophie, you are absolutely correct. So number four, Gethika, great, B. Yes. Okay, last one, last one. While Alex was fixing the car in the garage, his wife was gardening in the backyard. Again, while Alex was fixing the car in the garage, his wife was gardening in the backyard. So, what about this one? While Alex was. So, anyone for five? Five. Bella said number five is C. Five. So for Artem, it's A. Same for Getika. So Artem, you want to change your mind? Let's see. You are absolutely allowed to change your mind. All right, Artem, 5 is C. Same for Sophie. So 5 is C, 5 is C. Great. You guys are absolutely correct. So number 5, it's C. All right, so two actions. So while someone was doing this, another person or his wife was gardening in the backyard. Okay, so now, so we said when we have two actions, one is long, one is short, we put the long action in the past continuous and we put the short action in the past simple. We have here three sentences, long action, short action. What I want you to do now is to put the verbs in the right tense. And I will give you an example with number one because maybe some of you probably didn't understand. So while I watch TV, the phone ring. So while I watch TV, the phone ring. Okay. So while I watch TV, so watching TV is a long action. The phone ring or start ringing, this is a short action compared to the first one. And also when the phone starts ringing, you stop watching the TV. So basically the first one we are going to say I was watching because it's a long action, and number two we will say the phone rang, which is the past simple of the verb to ring. So I will let you guys do number 2 and number 3. So number 2, they play video games when the guests arrive. Okay, they play video games when the guests arrive. So first you should find where is the long action, where is the short action. And number 2, okay, Getika, you got the number 1 correctly. Correct, Getika. I'm very proud of you. I'm absolutely proud of you guys. All right, though I didn't give you guys time to think, but you still got it correct. Okay, we're playing. Okay, same for Sophie. We're playing and arrived. Okay, same was playing, but Artem, you should pay attention that this is they. All right, they. So they we use were. Okay, were playing. Same Bella, same. Bella and Artyom, you are correct for the form. You use the right tense, but it's just the form of the verb to be. Indeed, Artyom. It should be were playing. Same for Sophie. Okay, let's see. So were playing. So this is the long action. So they were playing. All right. And the short action is the guests arrived, like Sophie is saying in the chat, and like Bella and Artyom said. So it's the short action. Last one. When it starts raining, the children run around the playground. Oops, there is a tiny mistake there. Sorry for that. So the last win, drop it, drop the last win. So let me rewrite it then. Okay, when it start. So I will just correct the last one because there is a tiny mistake there. Raining, the children run in the playground. Okay, there is a tiny mistake, so I will rewrite it again. So here it is. So when it starts raining, the children run in the playground. What do you think? And pay attention with this last one because there is a little trick. There is a little trick in it. All right, let me see. So started raining. All right, Sophie didn't fell to the trap. All right, what's starting? But Getika did. Getika was starting run. No, really. Okay, basically, when it starts raining, it's a short action, so it starts. It just starts. But play in the background or in the playground, it's a long action. So here I reversed them. Okay, so basically the sentence should be when it started raining. All right, when it started raining, the children were playing around the playground. Okay, so here I reversed the long action and the short action. Now, what about the form? What about the form? So we talked about the use of the past continuous, which is we use it for long actions in the past. Now, what about the form of the past continuous? So let's start with the affirmative. So what is the form of the affirmative? How can we conjugate a verb in the past continuous in the affirmative form? Can someone tell me in the chat? So can someone tell me what is the form or what are the forms of the past continuous in the of any verb? Let's take any verb, for example, eat, the verb to eat. What was the past continuous of the verb eat? So eat, what is the past continuous of eat? So can someone share with us? Great, but is there something missing from your answer, Artyom? Is there something, we still need something else, Artyom? So what do you think? So Artyom said for eat, the past continuous form is eating. Okay. Nice. Gathika, yes. So Artyom, for your answer, you were missing the verb to be in the past. So basically, the verb to eat in the past, it's was or were eating. So I was eating, you were eating, he, she, it was eating, we, you, they were eating. So both of them, Sophie, the same thing. So there are two forms for the past continuous. There is was and there is were. So was, we use it with I, we use it with he, she, it. But for were, we use it with you, we, and they, right? Okay, so let me reveal the affirmative form. So we say was or were plus verb ing. Okay, was or were plus verb ing. Now, if we have the negative, how can we form the negative? Indeed, great. Yes, Artyom. Perfect, perfect. Now, what about the negative? The negative. So if you remember, for the negative of the past continuous or of the present continuous, it was I am not, or she is not, for example. What about the past continuous? Or for the past simple, the negative is I did not. I did not eat. What about the negative of was or were eating? So how can we form the negative of the past continuous? Can someone tell me? All right. So if we have not eat, not eat. I wasn't. Kathika, great. I wasn't. All right, wasn't eating. And guess who's here today again? It's my man, Jan. Jan the man. Hello, hello, Jan. How are you? Very excited to see you every time. So, yes. So, guys, for the past continuous, we say was or were plus verb ing. So, in the affirmative, I was eating, you were eating, he, she, it were eating or was eating, we, you, they were eating. For the second, for the negative, I was not eating, you were not eating, he, she, it wasn't eating, we, you, they weren't eating, right? What about the last one for the question? So if I want to ask you a question, eating, so what is, how do we form that? Indeed, yes. So I wasn't eating. The same answer was given actually by Sophie, and the same answer was given by you, Githika. Great. Now, if we want to ask you a question about something that you were doing yesterday, I see someone is liking from Facebook. So, for people of Facebook, you can say hello, you can interact with us. You can interact with us in the comment section, by the way. So, if you type in the comment section, thank you. I'm equally happy to see you today. Do you are a little bit late, Fisher? You are a little bit late, so try to set the alarm next time. So, what about the question? If I want to ask you about the activity that you were doing yesterday, how can I say that in English? Does anyone know? Okay, great. Okay, fantastic. So we just switch places. So we say, were you eating? Were you eating? Great. Okay, so here we say either was or were plus subject plus verb ing. All right, so it's practice time right now. So for the practice, I have for you 6 sentences. 6 sentences, some of them are in the past continuous, all of them are in the past continuous, but some of them are in the affirmative, some of them in the negative, some of them in the interrogative, in the question form. So can you guys share with us your answers? I did the alarm, but I was sleeping. All right, I see, Jen. I see. Okay, it's totally fine. Our live streams are always uh, um, recorded, so you'll always find them on our website or our on come on our YouTube channel. Was studying, and but I always love it like when it happens live, so that we guys can interact and can talk to each other. All right, so Getika says for number 1, I was studying. I was studying. Do you agree with Getika? Do you guys have another answer? Let me know. Getika is going full speed on us, so she is always in number 2. Okay, so for number 1, Getika is absolutely correct. I was studying. I was studying. So was plus verb ing. Sophie, the same answer. I was studying. Fantastic. What about number 2? Number 2. So number 2, pay attention. We have the negative. They not play video games when I called. They not play video games when I called. What about number 2? They weren't. Okay. They weren't. Same answer by Getika as well. So absolutely. So they were not playing. They were not playing. Okay, Sophie, the same answer. So they were not playing. What about number 3? So number 3, pay attention. We have a question. We have a question. Okay. So let me see. I think Getika already dropped her answer for number 3. Was watching. But Getika, you should pay attention. So she was watching, or is there another form? All right, interesting. Indeed, Artyom, indeed. Was she watching? As I told you before, Jen, I tried learning German for like 1 month or so, and I almost lost my mind. It's more complicated than English. It's a lot more complicated than English. All right. Great. So here, of course, so when we have a question, we put was or were before the subject of the sentence. So was she watching? Was she watching? Number 4, indeed, Sophie, indeed. Was she watching Artsim? Yes, or already shared this. He cooked dinner when the phone rang. He cooked dinner when the phone rang. Getika says he was cooking. He was cooking dinner when the phone rang. He was cooking dinner when the phone rang. So, all right. Artyom, so he was cooking. Fantastic job. And all right, so the same answer. So he was cooking. Same answer by Getika and Artyom. Indeed, yes. So you are a native speaker of German, Jan? Were you born in Germany? He was cooking. Great, Sophie. A little bit late, but good. But correct. Okay, next one. So we not run. So Getika says we weren't running. We weren't running. Was cooking. Jan, a little bit late, but correct nonetheless. So that's good. All right, what about number 5? Weren't running. Artyom weren't running. So Getika and Artyom, they already have the same answer. Okay, so they were not running in the marathon last weekend. What about the last one? What about the last one? The last one. Weren't running. Sophie, great. So they weren't running or they were not running. Both are correct, by the way. So they were not is the long form and they weren't is the short form, is the abbreviation or the abbreviated form. What about the last one? Listen. Uh, I already saw were listening. All right. So were you listening? So Getika already gave us her answer. So what about the rest of you guys? What do you think? Sophie, were you listening? And the same, were you listening? Great. Okay, Artem, the moment I was about to give you my remark, you already corrected your answer. Great. So the last one, were you listening? And always pay attention that for questions, we put the subject between were, between the verb to be and the verb. Okay, I see. So no wonder you will find English very, very simple, Jen. Okay, so now it's your turn, guys. It's your turn. What I want you to do is to tell me yesterday at this time, what were you doing? What were you doing yesterday this time? What were you doing yesterday at this time? And of course, since it is a long action, so you should use the past continuous. So make sure you use the past continuous. What were you doing yesterday at this time? So for me, for example, yesterday at this time, I was in class teaching my students. Because I work in a high school. So yesterday at this time, I was teaching my students. I was teaching. So it's a long action happening at a specific time in the past. So I was watching. What about the rest of you guys? What were you doing yesterday at this time? And please make sure everybody answers this question because this is basically the end. Yesterday, I was cleaning my room this time. I was drinking beer yesterday. I see that Jen is a big lover of beer. I think this is a German thing. This is a very German thing. Okay, I was working. Oh, very similar answer by Bella and by Artyom. You guys gave the same answer. I was working. I was working. Interesting. Okay, what about the rest of you guys? Can anyone else share with us his or her answer? Okay, I will probably wait for one more answer before I close the session. Maybe I want to just kindly remind you of our uh, uh, website. So on our website, you, as I always say, you can find free ebooks. Maybe let me share it on the stage, right? So this is our website. So it's a very beautiful, neat website. And on the website, you have different sections. The website, by the way, is you can see here it's divided by level, so you can go directly to the material that matches your level. And if you can go, for example, to ebooks here, so you have ebooks right here. You can choose, for example, Bella's Whiskers, and you can download it for free. You can just go here and click on download button and you can absolutely download it for $0. So you can download it for free. Okay, Sophie, yesterday I was studying grammar and Getika, yesterday this time I is there something missing, Getika, there on your answer? Yesterday I was, right? So I was talking with my mother. And with that, guys, I think we arrive at the end of our live stream. All right. So thank you so much for all your interaction and all your answers. This is my name, Hamza Jat, and you can visit me on my personal YouTube channel. Though, please make sure to put no no space, no space between the my family name and my first name. So make sure you put no space. There is no space between my first and my second name. Indeed. So let me first go back. So Getika, she corrected her answer. So was that's exactly what was missing. But for you, Artem, basically, I was confused. You can notice that the verb, there is no verb here. There is just the verb to be, because you should have a verb with ing. All right. So I was confused. It is correct. It is correct. I was confused, but this is just a description of yourself. It is not an action, right? Because when I say, indeed, Jan, you were a little bit late today. So basically, as I was saying, for you, Artyom, so I was confused. By itself, this sentence is correct. However, it's not an action, because being confused is not an action, it's a state. So you are describing yourself. You are describing yourself. So as I was saying, so don't forget to visit my personal YouTube channel. Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget our website, free ebook on there. Enjoy reading. Enjoy our other YouTube videos. There are a lot of stories that you can discover on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much, guys. I see you on Wednesday. So set your alarms for Wednesday at 3 p.m. We will be talking about holidays and traveling. So thank you so much, guys, and see you on the next live stream.